Hello, lovies. Those of you who are new, I'm Gina. Those of you who have returned to my channel, thank you. I appreciate it. Today's DIY is so much fun. I love it. I can't wait to do another one. I'm going to do the distressed flannels that have been so popular for the last couple of years, and they're still really, really popular. And I distress these by bleaching them and then tie-dyeing them, and just you've got to see how awesome they came out. At first I had a fail. I'm going to show you my fail, and then I'm going to show you how I fixed it, and I am in love with these. So let's get started. I went to my local thrift store and they were having 30% off on clothing, which was awesome. So I picked up 7 flannels and none of them were over $4. So I did a lot of research on bleaching clothing before I did this. And I don't know if it's because I use Dollar Tree bleach and it's not really that strong, or I just diluted it too much. So what I did was I took a bucket from Dollar Tree and Dollar Tree bleach. I poured it in. I added water. I believe I did 50-50. And then I took the flannels and I just stuck them in there and mixed them around, and absolutely nothing happened. So here's what they look like after I bleached them. Pretty much nothing happened to them. A little bit, like this one, brown one, that one lightened up a little bit, the red one lightened up a little bit, the pink, but really nothing pretty much happened. So I decided to get a water bottle and fill it up with mostly bleach and a little drop of water, and I just sprayed them and left them on the driveway. And then when they started to lighten up to a color I liked, I took them and I put them in the washing machine and I washed them. This is how they came out, and I was happy with the amount of distressing. I grabbed my Tulip one-step tie-dye kit that I had in my stash for a couple of years, and I've never used it. Great colors. I took all the distressed flannels and I laid them out on my driveway again. I grabbed a few of the colors from the tie-dye that I loved, added water, shook them up, and then I just sprayed them. I actually took 2 of them and I rolled them up as if you would actually do a tie-dye t-shirt, and I put rubber bands on that one just to see the difference. And I just took some yellows and pinks and blues and greens and I just sprayed them. Here are the 2 that I twisted up and used rubber bands, and I did them the way you would normally do a tie-dye t-shirt. Now, grab a cup of coffee or a glass of wine and enjoy the process. So at this point, after adding all these stripes, these squirts, I really didn't like what it looked like. It wasn't soaking into the fabric. It just looked like lines and dots, and I was like, oh my God, this does not look cool. So I have to figure out what the hell to do with this, because the one-step tie-dye says you do not wet the fabric, but it wasn't spreading around. So I ended up getting a big bucket of water and I poured the water over each one of these flannel shirts, and this is what it looked like after I poured the water on them. The colors started to soak in, they started to spread, they started to look really cool. Now, the tie-dye says that you're supposed to leave it on 6 to 24 hours. Yeah, I don't have that kind of patience. So after 4 hours, I took them and I put them in the washing machine. And as you can see, they came out looking pretty cool. But you haven't seen anything yet. Wait till you see after I embellish them. So now I got ready to embellish this one. This one I was making for my future daughter-in-law. Her name is Brittany, obviously, and she's a big country music person, and I knew she would love one of these, so I was making her one. And then I decided, yeah, my first one, I'm not going to practice on my future daughter-in-laws. I'm going to do my own, and then if it comes out good, then I'll work on Brittany. So I grabbed this Gina Louise top. This was one of my tops from my clothing line, and I already cut the sleeves off and used them on a different upcycle I did. Anyway, I said these roses are beautiful, love them. I'm going to cut them out. I'm going to put heat and bond on the back of them, and I'm going to use these to embellish the flannel. Heat and bond is so easy to work with, and I just love it. So you take a piece from the roll, and you're going to cut it, and you're going to iron it to the back of your piece of fabric. You should cut it a little smaller than your fabric so that you don't get your iron all gooey and yucky and ruin it. So one part is very smooth and slick, and the other part is bumpy and sticky. So you're going to put the sticky side on, and you're going to heat it. Then you're going to peel it off, and then you're going to iron the emblem, the patch of whatever it is you made, onto your fabric. So now I'm taking this top, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to add I did a lot of roses last night while I was watching TV from different fabrics. So I'm going to add the roses to the back of my flannel. Now I'm going to take this beautiful applique that I have, and I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac glue, and I am going to just put it on the back in all the areas where the stitching is, and I'm going to press it on and add. I love the way this looks, and in person it really came out so beautiful. So I'm just adding the Fabri-Tac there wherever you see the emblem. I'm not really putting it on the mesh area beyond the leaves, and I just stick it down onto the flannel. I noticed at the very tip of this leaf, I missed it with the heat and bond. So I'm just adding a little Fabri-Tac glue to it and tacking it down, which is no big deal. Now I flipped the flannel over, and I'm just going to embellish the front of it. Of course, I'm adding some more roses to it. Now this is a rhinestone iron-on from the Dollar Tree. I can't believe this is only $1.25. This just looked so fabulous when I added it. So down here on the bottom part of the front, I added this rhinestone feather, and it was very simple. You peel the back, you lay it down, sticky side down, and you just heat it up 20 to 30 seconds. It's pressing and doing a circular motion, and it just looked amazing. One thing I did forget to mention is I always put either a piece of cardboard or a piece of craft paper between my two layers, the front and back of a top, so that the glue doesn't go through. Now I'm ironing out the cuff here on the sleeve because I have this beautiful crochet trim, and I take the crochet trim and I put it on the sleeves of this flannel, and I also do the collar. If you are enjoying this video, I would love it if you gave me a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more of these DIYs from me, please consider subscribing to my channel. Thank you. On to the collar. First I ironed it and got it nice and smooth and flat. Then I took my beautiful crochet that I put on the sleeves. I measured it to fit the collar. I cut the ends of the crochet pieces on an angle just like the collar. Used my Fabri-Tac glue, and I just added it. And it just looks so beautiful. Wait until you see the final results. But if you don't want to tell me If you enjoyed this DIY, please give me a thumbs up and let me know in the comments below. Would you wear this flannel? Is this your style? And if not, what would you have done differently if this is not your style? Are you digging those distressed, bleached out flannels that you see everywhere? Please let me know in the comments below. And if you'd like to see more of these videos, please consider subscribing to my channel. Thanks for watching.